Oh, are you doing DMC again?
Yep, playing 4 now.
Oh, you beat 3?
No, I got stuck in this one area and I didn't want to go back to it, at least not for a while. There's a lot of annoying enemies in that game, although it is fun. I was stuck on... Well, I wasn't really stuck on them, I just died to them, but the dual, like, guys that are guarding the door. The guys that look like Goliaths, kind of. But one of them is blue.
I did get a pretty cool gun in this so far.
What was that?
I said I did get a pretty cool gun in this.
What was it?
What, was my mic lagging or something?
No, the music in this game is like insanely loud.
It's also probably weird for you because you're probably used to...
The jet?
Yes. Also, yeah, that mic... If only you had a better mic on the headphones. It's the only thing about it that sucks, because it does pick up your breathing quite a lot.
A lot? Jeez. Alright,
Yeah.
I'll switch over, I guess, since I'm not playing anything that requires me to listen. I guess, game audio. What the fuck is my other headset?
Does it have a bendable...
Yeah,
Is that...
I can put it away, but like, I don't know, it feels like you wouldn't be able to hear me.
I mean, it's better... Fucking have it constantly be like... I don't even know if my breathing on my mic is
No, I
the same
can't hear you.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Is this good? I'll turn it up a
I'm not
little bit
hearing
more.
breathing. No, I can still hear you fine.
Oh.
The mic picks up the audio fine. It's just when it's directly beneath the...
My nose?
The airflow.
My fan's a little loud. My personal fan is a little loud.
It's the jet stream, dude.
Yup. So Nero's
like
a DMC4 character?
Yes.
Ah.
You fight him in that game, actually. Spoilers.
Wow. I saw that at the end, or starting whatever the fuck. So, I assumed as much. Just wasn't
But
confirmed.
then they become buddy-buddy.
Yay!
And everybody lives happily ever after in DMC 5. Just so that they can make a DMC 6, because no one dies. Spoilers, Virgil and Dante still exist. Therefore, Devil May Cry 6 exists. It's just a matter of time, unless they're just completely done with the franchise. I mean, after that live performance of Devil Trigger, I can imagine wanting to stop your franchise.
Ah, jeez, I completely forgot about that shit.
Yeah, it was funny. I'm glad Rasan knew what I was talking about, because he was in a party that day when I brought that up. Because it's so bad.
It wasn't even... It was just a guy, to be honest.
I mean, even when you hear the song in-game, you'll go like, what the fuck, this sounds nothing like what it did live.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's not even like...
I don't even think it's the same lyrics.
It is.
Really?
I mean, it has slightly more lyrics, but
oh yeah,
it's the same lyrics in the chorus and stuff like that. All these thoughts I do in my head and all my things burning.
What the fuck?
Frustration is getting bigger. Bang, bang. Oh, my Devil Trigger. Dun, 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 dun. I haven't played the game in like 5 months, and I can still fucking... Because you just... Whenever you play as Nero, if you don't go into the settings and forcefully change his combat music to something else... Because in DMC 5 you have like a thing where you can go in and you can like change Nero's combat music to like DMC 3 music or something that's like actually decent. Unless you want to hear dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, this is happening. You're singing like a song while they're fighting in the cutscene, and it just sounds so fucking weird.
I'm sorry.
They assassinated the Pope. Oh no. Dante is bad now.
I like how they made him like an old dad in DMC 5. He went from being like really like young guy, and DMC 5 is like so far in the future that he's like old with like scruffy white beard hair, and he looks like he's... I can't remember, like, he kind of looks like Justin Timberlake combined with an actor I can't remember the name of. But he looks so... I don't want to say weird in DMC 5. Actually, his character looks a lot more natural looking.
Yeah.
Like, if you were going to say, like, what version of Dante visually I like the best, I would say DMC 5. It just did look better. It's the same thing with Virgil. Virgil looks better in DMC 5 as well. They have more uniqueness to their look because they have more polygons to work with, instead of their face being complex triangles like they are in the other games.
Yeah.
Go with your brother and get out of here.
Where it's like a pseudo-anime kind of look, almost. With Virgil especially.
I won't hold my breath.
In the previous games, he is the anime character. He has a katana as his main weapon. That's the best part about DMC 4, to be honest, is Virgil. But I think you have to beat the game once to unlock him. I can't remember.
I can play. Yeah.
You can
I just didn't want to pick him up first because...
No, he plays just like a different version of Dante.
Oh.
They're both weapon swappers and stuff like that have different move sets with different weapons.
Oh, so they just have different weapons.
Yeah. He has like the Beowulf gauntlets, which are like the Balrog that Dante uses in DMC 5. They're like a fist and kick weapon, and those are my favorite because it has an aerial move in DMC 4 where it just spins in the air, like a vertical spin, and you can just spam that input over and over again, and it's just so easy to juggle and do lots of damage to enemies with that move. It's the same move that Shadow does on V in DMC 5. It's like just a spinning whirlwind in the air. You don't move in any direction, it's just straight in the air, and if you do the inputs correctly, you can just stay in the air doing it for probably like 20 seconds or so.
What the fuck? These are... Oh, okay. So the DMC 4 moves got transferred to 5.
Why?
Or... Oh, this is Exceed.
Why, did you play 5?
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah, you played the demo.
No, I played 5 a little bit. I got to the mission 8 and then I just stopped playing because I was tired. Now I'm on
I told you not to... I told you to wait until I was in the party to play it.
Because you wanted to hear my fan?
Well, no, I just wanted to hear your reaction to it.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty good. Really good, actually. I like it. Oh, so I have to play as this guy first.
Yeah, it's like DMC 5. Certain missions you can pick different characters, but there are ones that you can only do with a specific character. Or you have to wait until you beat it, and then you can go through it a second time with a different character.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, that's one of the things about DMC 5 that's kind of like is you can't fight you can't fight some of the bosses as other characters. Like, you can't fight the giant mechanical thing as V or as, like, Dante. You technically do fight it as V, because when you go through the level, you hit the legs and shit like that. But you're not dealing actual damage to it in the Nero fight. Because if you got to mission 8, then that means you did that fight, right?
Which one?
The one with the giant walker. The 4-legged walker thing.
Oh, yeah. That thing is, like, kind of boring, though. I didn't really like that mission. Or that boss.
Sounds like you needed it to be higher difficulty. You should try and beat the prologue. Did you try and beat the prologue?
Yeah, I couldn't. That shit is ridiculous. Actually retarded. The boss takes no damage. Or, I mean, the little orb thing doesn't even take damage, and then you have to defeat it again. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So retarded. Actually, like, masochistic at that point. Just to try to beat that at level 1.
There's some guy who did it. When the game came out, the guy did that fight the first time, and he's like, no, I'm not doing the second level. I will beat this. And he literally spent like 5 hours just doing that fight. To the point where he was like, the second he would do a meteor, he'd just reflect it and stuff like that. Like, he got super good at it in like a matter of like 5 to 6 hours. And then he beat it, and he was like, alright, I think I'm done playing for today. Just beat one mission.
Hey, man.
Not even the first mission, just the prologue. With the base health and stuff, it's really hard, but once you get more health, your health is retained if you go back and try to do it. Same thing with upgrades. So if you get upgrades in further levels that give you more health and stuff like that, then you can go back and do it once you get the upgraded gunshot, because that's really how you want to do it. That's how I did it, is you just do the entire orb phase. You just do it by shooting the orb with charge shots and just running as far... You just run back and forth on the back side of the arena, because most of his shit can't hit you. You just move back and forth and forward and back. Because you gotta, in that game, you gotta remember you can spam air taunt for a triple jump. So Nero's the only character that starts out with a triple jump.
That's what I was doing. I was trying to charge my Exceed while taunting midair.
You can.
But it's so, like, I couldn't figure it out. I tried so many times. It was just, I don't know. I think I need to get some other stuff.
Well, you need Max Exceed first. You have to unlock Max Exceed. It's a skill.
I had the level 3 one, but I didn't have the one that after an attack I would get Max Exceed.
Well, if you have max exceed, then that happens. You just have to time exceed right.
This doesn't quite cut.
Yeah, if you get max exceed, it'll do that. It's a very strict timing. Trust me, if you remember when I played through that game, I'd spend like an hour in the training room just fucking around trying to get exceed mastered. And I got it to the point where I could get it like consistently every 3 or 4 swings if you go back and like watch some of that stuff. Because I would do it mostly because, and I would get it the most consistently on the 3rd swing of the triangle combo. I don't know why, but just the timing of the way that I press the button, it just worked out that way. And so I'd always do 3 triangles and then the lift. So that I could do the lift that lifts the people like 300 feet into the air. Just because it looks really cool.
Oh my god, I know how to play the frickin' game. Can I skip this?
No, sadly. I don't think so.
Yeah, I gotta fight a Dante with infinite health. And I also have infinite health.
Yeah, you're playing as Nero right now, right?
Yeah.
But you're playing as original rough Nero.
Was he just not as fun to play, or...?
No, I'm surprised you aren't feeling the difference more from DMC 5.
What do you mean?
It's just the animations are a lot faster, which makes the exceed timing weirder, because you don't... DMC 5 has a lot more fluent animations, to say the least. DMC 4, I mean, did a really good job because it is PlayStation 3, but
yeah.
like there's a certain jarriness to it, especially when you play as like Virgil, where you can tell when animations start and animation end, and it's very hard. Whereas in DMC, it kind of flows, and because it flows a lot better, you can get into the rhythm of exceeding a lot better, in my opinion. Even though exceeding is more strict in DMC 5, I feel the fluidity of the game and the way the game runs very smooth for being what it is. Like, a lot of games nowadays run like shit, but DMC 5 is one of the only games where in the middle of a boss fight a bunch of particle effects happen and the frame rate doesn't drop.
Oh, so the Devil Arm Buster is the his real hand.
Yes. Yeah. Before it got ripped off in DMC 5. The Buster arm, the Buster that you get in DMC 5, the Buster Devil Breaker is the version of his original Buster arm, which is the grab attacks.
Yeah.
Which is what Nero is most known for, because he has different grab attacks for every enemy.
Yeah, that shit was tough. I was like, I grabbed one, threw him on the floor, and like punched him or some shit, or kicked him or something. I don't even remember.
Yeah, the only thing that sucks about the Devil Breaker version is the versions of it aren't as great. When you get the Devil Trigger in DMC 5 and you can activate that and then do it, it's so much better. Especially when you do the aerial version, because you can just aerial grab and just immediately pile drive them straight into the ground. And it's the best way to deal with strong enemies, because they're the enemies in DMC 5. I'm sure you got aware of them, the ones that turn purple and super armor.
Yeah.
So you got to use things with Nero. One of the best things to do with them is the Buster arm, because you can grab them out of the purple, because it ignores super armor.
Oh shit.
So knowing different stuff like that can make different levels much easier. That's why certain levels will give you things like the Buster in them for dealing with those enemies. Because what you do is you launch them in the air, and then before you do the final swing on your combo, you do 3 triangle presses, a back forward triangle, and then a Buster, and you grab them out of the air and pile drive them into the ground. And then when they're on the ground, if they still have HP, when they stand back up, you grab them again and take them out of the purple and throw them. See, in DMC 5, I changed the controls around, so I can't really help you a whole lot with exceeding, because I use R1 as my exceed button, because I'm weird. And that makes it so that doing exceed and attacking is all with one hand, and it makes it easier to develop a rhythm for me personally. And then I just changed the lock-on button to the exceed button. So L2 becomes lock on, so your left hand is just doing lock on and stuff like that, where your right hand is doing the actual moves and inputs and stuff like that, so you can, it splits the way that you use the controller a lot more evenly. I like doing that, but some people don't, because then it fucks with the knuckle. So with Nero, you have the devil knuckle that you can do after every swing as well.
Oh, what's that?
I think you might have to unlock it first in DMC4, but it's one of the buttons. It's the, I think it's the Buster button, actually. Maybe. I can't remember. It's got its own, it's one of the main buttons that aren't used for a lot of other stuff. You use it like Exceed, so after an attack, you press that button, and it will make a little blue fist that will come out and punch. But I don't know if you can do that normally in that game, or if that's like a devil trigger thing. And like I said, I'm pretty sure you have to learn it. It's called like the devil knuckle.
You will come to learn the meaning soon enough. But business beckons.
If it's not in like the move list or anything, I wouldn't worry about it, because it's a pretty tough mechanic to learn right off the beginning, because it's basically another Exceed, so you're pressing 2 buttons after every swing. Then I'll put that on L1, so I can press L1 and R1 at pretty much the same time after every swing while holding L2, and it just becomes a rhythm that you do every time to do the Exceed. Because the Exceed is different for every attack, so you have to know the timings? The rhythm. Yeah.
Wow.
Like the first triangle has a different Exceed timing than the second triangle, and so on, because the animations are different. So the time that you would want to Exceed, and this is at least how I do it, is it would be basically right before your attack would hit. Like if you're just attacking in a straight line, it's probably about a quarter of the way into the animation, or so. And that's why longer animations, like the 4th attack in the normal triangle combo, that's like kind of like the slam thing, that has a delayed Exceed. So if you Exceed early in that, you'll never get the full Exceed. Sometimes you won't even get a single, you'll just get a rev, where it doesn't even proc a thing. Because you can also just rev it up to max Exceed normally.
Yeah, that takes so damn long.
Yeah, but you do it in between running, in between combat. So when you go into the next combat, you have it, and you can do the launch on the first enemy you come across. You don't use a normal attack, you just lock on and press back triangle and just boom, launch them.
Just so lightly in a time of crisis?
Trust me, you'll do that attack once, and you'll see why I keep saying to do it.
You must capture him.
Like the Striker or whatever. The Nero's version of it, while I have level 3 Exceed. That one's cool.
And duty calls.
Yeah, but that one's only so useful because it knocks enemies away.
You just pull them back.
Yeah, but if you're trying to combo in the air, having to pull them back isn't great if you're dealing with a crowd. The launch is so much better because then you can just disable 2 or 3 enemies because it has a big hitbox. Do a triple Exceed launch, you'll see what I mean. Because you can do it just standing still normally. All you got to do is make sure you press the lock on button before pressing back and triangle.
Someone help me!
There's so many, like, I never thought that a game could have this many animations. Just because, like, when you think, like, the controllers are just, I don't know, you never think that they'd be able to do that many inputs.
Yeah, and the other thing is the level 2 Exceed also has a different
timing?
No, just a different animation. Every Exceed level has a different animation for every animation. Because Exceed affects every ability you do.
Take care, Kitty. I got this.
Again, I can't remember what Nero's moveset is like when you start out the game, because I know you gotta learn a lot of the stuff, so I don't think he has like
I
his
already have most of the stuff learned.
mid-air back triangle. Or, sorry.
Yeah, the dash. Mid-air back forward
mid-air
triangle.
back forward triangle, yeah.
Yeah.
That with triple exceed is also very, very good. That does a lot of damage. It's not necessarily a move that you use normally, but for enemies that you need to keep in the air, it's very beneficial to learn that. Because, like I said, you do the triple exceed up into the air, and then if you are really good at timing, you time another triple exceed off of the triple exceed flip into the air if you haven't done it already.
Nah. I'm still trying to get used to like the regular moves before I start doing exceed stuff. I've just been charging it between zones, like you said, and then just using it whenever I can.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying you can just use it while standing still to try it out.
Oh yeah, no, I've used all the moves standing still.
So you know what it looks like, right?
Yeah. The only one I haven't gotten yet is the one where you have to hold triangle.
That one's not very good anyways, at least for most, because it has too much startup.
Yeah, that's what I noticed too.
Yeah, it's kind of like Dante's super finisher combo that he gets, which is like it's like a 7-hit combo. I can't remember what it's called.
Excuse me.
And then, of course, like I said, you have my least favorite ability on Dante ever, the "you like juggling?" I forgot that every single time you do the launch attack in DMC 3 and stuff like that as Dante, he says, "Blast off!"
Yeah.
That gets so fucking annoying after a while.
Slam dunk. Fucking run, goober. Oh my, of course, this game doesn't work with my broken controller. Well, gotta use my good one.
That's
Gotta
like
use
me
my good
playing
controller.
Code Vein and fucking walking off the ledge 2 to 3 times because my fucking controller. And then it's like during near the end of that, like today basically, I started the game and within like 15 minutes of starting the game, I fell off the ledge due to the fact that if you swap the X button and the circle button in that game, it doesn't swap the fact that X is pick up item.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So
so
dumb.
you go to pick up an item when you're sprinting, and since you can't pick up items when you're sprinting, you press the X button too early and you just roll. And if you're not, like, paying the utmost critical attention, you'll roll and then spaz the fuck out because you're, like, next to the ledge. Even though you can't roll off the ledge, you then walk off the ledge. And I lost, like, 1,700,000 fucking haze or something like that. On top of the fact I didn't level up for most of the game. I mean, those end boss fights probably would have been easier if I had the 1,000 or so extra health from leveling up that I should have had. But it still would have been like, still would have died in 3 hits, and my companion still would have died in fucking 3 hits. That's the worst part about that game, to be honest, is just how unreliable the companions are. Sometimes the companion is so good that the companion does like 3/4 of the damage to the boss, and then there are other times where it literally walks in and dies in like 4 hits. There's like no fucking consistency to it because it doesn't roll with intention. It just spam rolls like you see on the fucking thing when you watch. They just go and then when they get far enough away, they use a heal. But if the boss just constantly runs them down, they're not going to do anything other than just spam the roll button.
Oh, the
basically.
controls are inverted for looking up and down. That's so weird.
You should be able to change that in the options menu.
Oh, right when I was wanting to change it, it literally put me in a cutscene. What a goober. Goober game.
Yeah, I don't understand people who are like that. I can understand if you play like full inverted or something, but if you're like, oh, I only play with the top inverted, you're just a fucking, you're an insane person. You are a serial killer if you play that way. That's like that weird dude Kyle that I used to chat with, who's a friend of mine for a while. That dude was that way. He played horizontal inverted, but not vertical.
The vertical is what? Oh, because it's a default inverted, and then you have to change it to inverted, but the inverted is the regular version. Makes sense. Oh my god, the sensitivity for this game. How do I... Is that in control?
I don't know if you can adjust the camera sensitivity.
I don't know either.
You gotta just get used to nap snacking.
That's that triangle thing or whatever, or R3 or something. Where it instantly like snaps the camera back. Oh yeah, R3.
Another thing about Code Vein that would make it a lot better would be just improving the way that the co-op system works in general. You can't ask for co-op and move at the same time. Or sorry, not ask for co-op, but you can't like ask to help someone and move at the same time. So if you want to be a co-op summon, you pretty much just have to stand still and keep pressing the fucking try and connect to another person button. It's not like in Bloodborne where you can just click your bell and just have it be active until a player is near you that wants assistance or something like that. As much as that system is bad, people still play Bloodborne because it works. It may not encourage PvP that much, but a game doesn't always need to encourage PvP. There's like that guy I met while playing Bloodborne with Emil back like a year ago, and he still plays Bloodborne almost on a regular basis on my friends list. His name's like E. Harkness or something. He was doing a Mikolash cosplay where he would just run and like kind of guide through the level. And then he would get to a certain point and he'd pull out a weapon and start dueling you. And we dueled on this like weird bridge area in the Nightmare of Mensis for probably like 5 minutes. I killed him with the bloodletter. It's one of my favorite Bloodborne weapons. Just because the transform attack is really cool. You stab the weapon through your body and a blood spike comes out the other side. And although it costs you HP, it does a really high amount of damage. You can do like 700 to 800 damage to another player. Which if you're not running a high soul level build, that is basically 80% of your HP gone in that game. Although a lot of weapons can do that. Just the normal standard saw cleaver that you start with in Bloodborne, you can two-shot people with. Because that game's not really super balanced. And when they tried to balance it, they just made other things more broken, like most games. Because then people started looking for different builds, and it turns out that the build before they nerfed that one is worse than the build that is now currently in the game that you can do to, like, kill people in PvP in, like, 2 hits with transform attacks. And the transform attack on the saw cleaver is, like, instant. So, you basically, a guy walks up to you, he presses the R1 button, and then he presses L1, 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 and if you go anywhere near him, you take 80% of your HP.
Wow.
And it's got, like, 100% tracking. You can't punish it outside of, like, using a gun.
Oh, so you can't exceed while running?
You can in DMC 5. I don't think you can in that game.
Yeah.
Also, the trick to exceeding is not to mash the button or to hold the button. It's to do it in a rhythm. Like, imagine, like, you're pressing down the throttle of a car and you're, like, going, ring, ring. That's basically exactly how you exceed. Some people fuck it up and think that you mash, and they wonder why it doesn't happen consistently when they're trying to charge it.
Destroy all demons within the time limit. Alright. That should be easy.
That's one that's near the beginning of the game, right?
Yeah.
Because there's another one that's like that in that game that's towards the end that's pretty fucking hard. The time limit is like... Sorry. The time limit is like 45 seconds or something. Also, I'll give you another big tip for Nero. If you mash the triangle button, if you press the triangle button before pressing the exceed won't trigger. So you need to, like, when you're attacking with Nero, you need to, like, go, like, da-dun, 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 da-dun. Because his, like, 4-attack combo that he does normally is very, that's, like, how you want to time it. Not exactly in, like, but I'm just trying to give you an example. Because, like I said, each attack has a slightly different sweet spot. That's based on the animation. So it's like, ba-ba, 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 ba-ba. Stuff like that. It's kind of like God of Wind in Neo, but you're pressing the God of Wind with a separate button in between each. And if you hit that timing just right every single time, you'll always get exceed. At least level 1. Like in DMC 5. Max exceed, though, is very hard. It's like a 4 or 6 frame window. Like,
what is that? 1/6 of a second? 1/8 of the second?
If it's at 60 frames a second, then that's 1/10 of a second.
Wow.
Yeah.
But there's probably some dude who can consistently do it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You watch fucking... That's why he kept telling you to watch like the Nero videos on YouTube of like someone who's really good clearing like level 2 on hell difficulty as Nero, and literally every attack they do is a triple exceed. And you think that it's like a tool assisted bot, but they make one mistake in the entire video. And that one mistake is how you realize that it's not a bot. Because he like goes to jump into the air and then like do the back forward triangle, but doesn't time the back forward properly, and it just does a normal slash and throws the combo completely off. I mean, he recovers it in like a half a second, so you don't really notice it, but there are like a lot of videos where that's like the case, where it's like one missed input makes it look a lot less good. Because that's what it's all about, is comboing those kinds of inputs together. That's why I keep trying to get you to use that the frickin'... Just the first enemy you get into combat with when you have triple exceed, don't stinger to them. Pull them to you, and then do a back triangle while locked on. And just
I've
fling
seen
them
that as like
into the air.
double slash in the air.
Yeah, it does like a whoosh, 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 and launches them up. With 3, it's actually a triple, because the spin, it does one spin on the ground, a second up, and then a second one up. And then after that, if you exceed or timed exceed roughly, because during that entire animation, you can press the exceed button, and you'll at least get a level 1 exceed. But if you do that, then when you get at the end of the animation, do a back forward triangle to then hit the enemy you've knocked into the air forward for another high damage hit, which then after that you can pull them back up and do a normal combo into a dive stinger where you stinger down into the enemy and you basically hit them down into the ground while going down. I don't know if you have... I'm pretty sure DMC4 has down stinger. You do forward triangle while in the air, locked on.
Oh yeah, you do. You can do that.
Yeah, you do down stinger. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, forward. No, I have the other one actually. Never mind. I have the one where you back forward. I don't have the other one.
You don't have the...
I don't think I might have unlocked it.
Because I was going to say, I swear it's a move in that game.
I need to go to the thingy to buy more things.
It's not called... If it is a skill, it's not called down stinger, but it has the same input as stinger, except for in the air. And you just go in a straight line down. Well, not straight line down, because you can go straight down by just pressing back and triangle when you're in the air. And that'll do a slice down back to the ground, which if you have a triple exceed also does a thing that's unique to the ground that does like a ground explosion outwards. So... So you can do that when you do the back forward triangle, you can do the slice down. But the thing about that is when you pull them towards you on the 4th hit of your triangle combo, you always knock an enemy away in the air if you haven't already realized that. If you like jump in the air, pull an enemy in the air, or you launch someone, do 4 hits, it'll always knock them away. So in the air, if you want to keep a thing juggled, you only do 3 triangle inputs before doing a different input. So if you want to keep the enemy in juggle, you can send them back to the ground by doing a back triangle and then doing another quick back triangle to launch them back up into the air. Or like I said, you do the back forward triangle and then pull them back towards you. That's what the back forward triangle is really good for, and why the end of the animation kind of bumps you up slightly. That sort of helps you keep that juggle, because it gives you a little bit more elevation, especially if you exceed when you do it. But that's all very, very hard to do, and me saying that, I struggle to do that on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So, by no means would I expect you to be able to as well. But then again, you're younger than me, so you'd still got the gamer energy. I used to be a lot better at games like that when I was younger. Now I suck at all games like that, even though I still play them. I wouldn't say I suck. I mean, I still beat them and I play them through. I try to play them through on the harder difficulties, but when I get to a boss where it's like, it's going to take me 60 to 100 tries to beat it, I'm like, no. The only game I ever gave that time a day was Neo. Neo, it took me 64 or 67 tries to kill the 9-tailed fox the first time I fought it. When that DLC came out. And that was like one of the bosses that took me the most tries. I think Dark Eater Midier in Dark Souls 3 is the only other one that came close. That's why I was laughing at that dude, which, by the way, I did like remove and block that fucking French dude, so. He just kept sending me party invites and stuff like that, and I just got tired of it.
Yeah.
Like, I hate being rude, but it's just not. I don't like fucking talking with people that can't understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's so much more of a hassle to talk to someone like that, and especially with the person that he was. Because, I mean, in your opinion, I definitely think Dark Souls 3, especially the late game content, is way harder than Bloodborne.
Damn it!
Bloodborne's only super hard if you put all your points into damage stats and none into health. The second you get to like 40 to 50 vitality in Bloodborne, almost everything except Cursed Chalices becomes a joke. And then all you need is 99 vitality, and then Cursed Chalices aren't even that bad. Because you still get 1,000 or so HP. I don't know, some of the DLC content in Dark Souls 3 is like probably some of the hardest content in a game like that has ever existed. Like, pushing the actual possibilities of what you can do in that game on a normal basis. And then people who talk about it online like it still wasn't hard enough, and it's like, what is wrong with you? People who think like Gale isn't that hard, or that like Midier isn't that hard, or like the twin fuckboys aren't that hard. I shouldn't even say the twin, because it's like there's the twin princes, and then there's the twin demons that are in the DLC, that are like two demons that you have to kill both of them, and whichever one you kill first, the other one then rampages and turns into a slightly different version of itself, which then, when you actually finish and slay them, then turns into a super version of itself, depending on which version was alive when it transformed, which then you have to fight a completely separate phase of the boss that has the same HP bar as both of them basically combined into one. And it's just like the most ridiculous shit ever. It's the same thing with Ashes of Ariandel in Dark Souls 3. The boss fights are like 5 to 6 minutes long of dodge everything perfectly. You probably have to dodge, like, iframe dodge an attack at least 60 to 100 times in some of those boss fights. It's just absurd.
I can't get that input right.
What input?
Where you upward slash them into the downward slash, like you said. Oh, there we go. It's a forward. I see.
Yeah,
I thought it was a backward.
Forward. No, forward is for straight forward. Back triangle should be straight down. Unless I'm thinking DMC 5, because that's how DMC 5 works. You have a straight down attack, which just goes vertically up and down, and then you have the forward one, which actually dives forward with the thing. And you go at like an angle instead of straight up and down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've probably done it by accident in DMC 5 and didn't even realize it, because in DMC 5 it's much easier to do the stuff that I'm talking about. In that game it's a little bit more like you gotta delay some of the inputs in between each other, because you gotta let the thing actually kind of like fall into the animation a little bit. Due to the fact that juggling in DMC 4, the enemies literally like pop up into the air every time they're hit in the air.
Thank you for dying.
But yeah, also, my other advice for Nero is to put his gun on R2.
So can you, like, attack and shoot the gun at the same time?
Well, you can't attack and shoot at the same time, but you can use the gun as a combo ender because it charges up. When you hold the gun button, it charges, and then you release it, and it shoots the... At least in DMC 5, again, it shoots the sticky bomb that does damage and then explodes and launches them. But it's still just good because every time you end a combo or an enemy's at low health, you just do the same thing you would do in the other DMC games with Dante, and you just throw a couple pistol shots out because his gun is actually very high damage. For what it is, his gun is way stronger than Dante's. At least 3 to 4 times stronger. You can almost solo the last fight in DMC 5 just using Nero's gun. So, just doing the charge shot over and over again, because it does so much damage, and they can't, unless he's like blocking, he can't avoid the damage. And it can even launch people into the air, so
Wow.
You can combo off of it too if you time the sticky bomb part right.
Let me guess. More demons.
The demon.
And when you use his gun in Devil Trigger, it summons these little whirling dervish blades that seek foes. Again, I haven't played DMC 4 in so long, so I can't remember if that's how that works in that game or not. Remember to use Buster in Devil Trigger.
Yeah, I really like Buster. That's what I really liked. That's why I remembered it.
But yeah, use that in Devil Trigger because it's so much better. Using it outside of it's good if there's 1 or 2 enemies, but because you can still be hit while bustering, it's not ideal. The powered up busters are better because you get super armor. And they do way more damage. And some of them even create an AoE which damage other ones. Like some of the enemies, there's one enemy that he does like a slam with, where it like slams multiple times, and enemies that are near it take damage from him slamming. So there's a couple different combos that you can do with it as well. Or I shouldn't say with it, I should say into it.
Also, I'm still confused how frickin' Nero is such a goober and lost his arm at the start of the game. Like, there's no way that demon guy was that strong to be able to rip off his arm and just manhandle him like that.
Do you realize who the demon guy is yet?
Erlon? I don't know who that is, though.
Urizen?
Urizen, yeah.
So do you know who V is, right?
Virgil, right?
He's part of Virgil. So there's a cutscene in the game. You probably haven't gotten to it yet, but if you want me to spoil it, I can tell you the reason why that is.
No, I'm good. Oh, you can frickin' buster this guy? What the frick?
You can buster bosses throughout most of the game. They have a special stun phase specifically for bustering. That's why I said you want to make sure you're double triggered when you do it.
I don't have that unlocked yet.
I don't even remember if you get double trigger as Nero in DMC 4. To be honest, again, it's been so long since I played any of those games. The last one I played was the reboot game prior to DMC 5, and that game is like one of those games like DMC 2 where you kind of just wipe your brain from having done it. Even though DMC 5's fucking Virgil fight is literally just copy-pasted from the reboot. It is the same shit. There's even the same sound effects and the same attacks from the fight. It is literally copy pasta. Just the graphics are different because DMC reboot looks hideous. I don't want to necessarily say the graphics look hideous, but the characters are just the most, like... They look like fucking... like Drake and Josh level, like, Hollywood actors kind of shit. They don't look like the fucking characters that you'd associate with Devil May Cry. And that's because that game was made by a different studio because, quote, the developers wanted to have a different studio make it because people who make the same games over and over again tend to make them in a stale way. So, that was their excuse for that. But yeah, when you figure out who the devil guy is, you will understand why he took Nero's arm. Also, do you know who Nero's father is?
No. Is that like told in DMC 5 or is that like DMC 4?
I can't remember, to be honest.
One thing drives me crazy though.
Just like he was.
And he would be?
I must restore my power.
You were just like he was, so I'm guessing this game also references his father, so he must be like a demon.
Nero's?
Yeah.
Who said that to you?
The second boss, the one after Dante.
So, who would he be similar to?
I don't know, he's like a goat guy.
No, I'm saying who is Nero similar to?
Dante.
No.
Look just alike. Except
No.
that Nero looks younger.
No. What's the other
Virgil?
main character? There you go.
He's Virgil's brother?
Oh my god, Hyro.
Virgil's son?
I'm gonna fucking slap you. Yes! Virgil is Nero's dad. And that's an important fact to note about DMC. It'll explain a lot about DMC 5 once you learn who the demon guy is. Though I'm
Devil
surprised
Bringer.
it isn't obvious.
I don't know. I'm assuming it's Virgil, but
I can confirm or deny if you want me to.
probably Virgil. So yeah, I mean, I guess.
Yes. It is indeed Virgil.
Virgil ripped off his own son's arm and then put it on himself.
He used it to get a weapon back. A weapon that Nero had melded into himself. Or that became a part of his devil
Oh yeah,
arm.
that sword thing, right?
Yes, exactly. The
And that's
Yamato
what makes him
or
really
whatever.
strong?
No, the Yamato has the power to separate demon and man.
Oh, so that's why he split up. Oh.
Yeah, so Virgil Virgil split himself into his human form, into his demon form. So his human form is 99.9% human, 1% demon, which is what allows V to control the DMC1 bosses, basically. He controls Shadow and
So
Griffin.
geez, Virgil or V is pretty strong. So I'm guessing Urizen is like some OP ass crackhead.
And it's funny because guess who created the name Urizen
Virgil.
for it? Yes, V created Urizen's name because his name obviously isn't Urizen. That's just the name that he gave him, what he wanted himself to be called as a demon god. Kind of thing. Because he self-denominates the name of it when he goes and tells Dante when there's that cutscene where there's like the broker and stuff like that, and then V is standing in the background, and then he talks to him for a second, and he's like, he does it like stop frames before he finishes saying it. He's either going to say Urizen or Virgil based on the position of his mouth. So he already explains immediately off the beginning of the game who the main protagonist is. And again, if you know the lore behind the game, you didn't even need to play the entirety of DMC 5 to know the story, to know what had happened and who created who. The second you hear V's name and have him speak about there being a demon, and that there's a cutscene where the guy steals the Yamato, if you know what all three of those things in the story mean together, you can immediately put together the story before you've even played the game. Because it's just understanding what those things do. That's why I said I didn't know if you wanted me to spoil it, because the game kind of... All Devil May Cry games are literally him versus Virgil.
Yeah.
In just a different manner every time. I didn't want to spoil it, but it's like, again, the most interesting part about the game is just seeing how it unfolds. Knowing what unfolds is it's a DMC game. The same story of fighting his brother has been told 4 times in a row. There's no surprises. The surprises are literally the goofy cutscenes in between the monsters and stuff like that. Sadly, DMC 5 doesn't have a lot of pizza in it. The pizza is only at the very end of the story, and once you're at the level select screen, you can see pizza boxes and open pizzas and stuff like that inside of the thing that, like, Lady and Trish will be eating from. Did you get to Dante and DMC 5 yet?
Yeah. That's where I literally stopped at. I was like, my brain is hurting because there was so much. Like, I played DMC 3 and DMC 3 was like already starting to get like crazy, and now like just DMC 5 just to get to like another level.
Wait until you get to play as him in DMC 4 as well. DMC 4 is very much the same. Same thing with Virgil. Very, very... It's all about learning how to integrate weapon swapping and knowing what to expect when you weapon swap and knowing what inputs to do when you weapon swap.
Yeah.
So it's like input, swap, input, swap, input. So it's like you do like the up, the back triangle with the Sword of Retribution, and then you do like, I always forget the name of it.
Which one?
The fucking throw it and it spins something round.
Oh, round slash. Or
No.
No. I know what you mean, though.
Mm-hmm. That one, you do like that. You swap into, like, maybe a launch or the kick or maybe the charged electric with the frickin' nunchaku, and then...
Oh, they're not called Cerberus in that game?
Well, yeah, but they're nunchakus, so... But they are from Cerberus. I don't even know if they're in DMC 4, because he gets unique weapons in different games. Like I said, the hat is unique to DMC 5. Unique ranged weapon. And the double Kalina and, technically. The special attacks you can do with that are unique to DMC 5 as well, although, like I said, good luck finding a moment where you can spend 3 seconds to combine both Kalina Anns together to make the super laser. Although when you do it, it's very satisfying because it does do a ridiculous amount of damage. And sometimes you'll see people in combo videos pull that off using a huge launch or something like that. They'll do like a attack that brings them to the ground really fast and do the gunslinger swap to the other thing, pull out the thing, do the long animation, and aim it right as the thing is about to fall and snipe it right as it hits the ground. They make it look super satisfying and super anime.
Yeah.
But I imagine it takes hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tries to get that satisfying run that you want. I have mad respect for the people who do that kind of shit. That's why it didn't surprise me when the game came out that one of the guys would be like, I'm beating the prologue, I don't give a fuck what it takes. He unlocked the next difficulty probably before anyone else did, because he played it literally the second it was able to be played. And upon getting to the first mission, played it over and over and over again until he beat it in like 4 or 5 hours later. So he was probably the first person to unlock Son of Sparta. Because you can't start out at Son of Sparta. In DMC 5 you have to unlock it. And like I said, the only way to unlock the difficulties is to beat the prologue. And then you get a fake ending screen. Like, you get a fake ending cutscene where it has like its own little bit, and then it like cuts back to the game normally. I couldn't beat Urizen and Dante Must Die, though, so I couldn't... Oh, wait, no, yeah. I couldn't beat it in Heaven or Hell. It just had way too much HP. I couldn't get past the first phase, and the gun cheese doesn't work when you get there. Not unless you like spending 30 minutes a phase.
Is Heaven or Hell, like... What is that?
That's difficulty 4.
What is that? Like, does that make the enemies have, like, 10 times the HP or something?
Yeah, ridiculous.
Oh, it's big titty lady.
Like I told you, it's basically like...
Oh, what the fuck?
You have to do a crazy amount of combos, even on the most basic of enemies. It's fun though, don't get me wrong. It's just one hit and you're dead as well.
The hell? Jesus, this is like... What the fuck is this lady? It's like having her whole coochie out doing 360 spins. Zooming into her ass.
Yeah. It's like fucking Bayonetta.
Oh, she's a cool character. Can you play as her? Like Black Lady. That's blonde.
You mean Lady in Black?
I don't know. No. The Black Lady in white.
Oh no, I don't think she's a playable character now.
I owe you thanks.
Sounds like Baroness. What the hell?
Snooty biatch.
I've never seen you before.
Oh, one of the Dodge
I'm new.
fucking
Gloria.
the Dodge Challenger SRT.
You're near.
One of the cars from the crew too, basically just drove by as a police car.
Everyone.
Quite a few, in fact.
That's what it looked like anyways. It looked like one of the police liveries on one of the cars, except for it was an actual police car. I can't even believe that they have those things as police
No matter
cars.
the number you kill, more will come.
It actually looks like her, like, pussy is out.
Then I'll leave that chore to you.
What the fuck?
Personal slang to take care of.
Am I gonna
That's
get, like,
what-
banned from Twitch? Like,
That's
this shit
what
is,
you
like...
call camel toe.
Yeah,
I
this is,
mean,
like, next
I don't-
level, though.
May the
I don't
Savior
think
be
you
with
get banned from
Angel.
Twitch for God of War, and that has exposed tits.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Savior.
I don't know exactly what their policies are on video games, though, but I'm pretty sure that the video game having stuff like that isn't bad. But then again, people have gotten banned from Twitch for doing, like, draw my thing, and people draw dicks on the stream, so I don't know. As long as there's clothing over it, then it's fine. It doesn't matter how much detail you can see. As long as it's covered in clothing, it doesn't matter. Bayonetta's allowed, so.
Hmm.
And that, like, the opening cutscene has a zoom in on her crotch. And that's a fucking Nintendo game that originally was a PlayStation game. That's the most fucked up part, is that, like, Nintendo tries to be a family-friendly environment, and then it's like Bayonetta 2, the most, like, closest thing to a porn game that you can get in terms of an action game. There were literally cutscenes in that game where probably half of the cutscene is just spent with slow motion camera angles going past her body. Again, if you like get a second once you're done streaming or something, like go and watch the intro cinematic to like Bayonetta 2 or something, and you'll be fucking amazed that a game like that is allowed on Nintendo Switch, but games like Binding of Isaac was a maybe.
Wow.
Like that's like too sensitive of material, but sure, if some kid sees like some person playing Bayonetta 2 on Nintendo, that's okay. I mean, really, they have to realize that you can like fucking on any phone look up way worse stuff. Just turn the Google safe search off and type in boob, and there you go.
Boob.
It's really not that hard.
Large haul.
Oh, did you beat her?
Oh no, she's not a boss.
No, I know. I was making an innuendo joke. You got past the boobs.
Oh. What the? What is this locking? What is this a move called Striker? No. A gyro blade is enshrined beyond this obstacle. Only that which has an impact or removed obstruction. I can't hit it with my sword, so. The frickin' charging up animation for Exceed is so weird.
What the? Where he's reaching over his shoulder?
Yeah.
It looks better in DMC 5.
Wait.
That's why I said about the animations in that game kind of being kind of jank.
Yeah.
Still. Even though a good portion of the cutscenes and stuff are all motion captured, the actual animations for the characters are not, so... It's a lot more jank looking, to say the least. It's so... And it's not even that it's necessarily jank looking, it's just that the animations have hard startups and hard recoveries. So there's no, like... There's no fluidity to it, like you have in certain games that, like... Even in games like Monster Hunter and stuff, even if you had a thing where you could roll out of the animation, it would still look fluent because all Monster Hunter animation is like very exaggerated and slow.
Oh no.
The PS4 is overheating?
On DMC4, I would just delete the game. Or I mean delete the console.
Just Thanos and it's gone out of existence.
Well, there goes my gaming career.
Snap, gone. Boom, there it is. Whoa. Boom, 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 now let me say, way-oh.
What the fuck?
Way-oh. You didn't complete it. You're such a bummer, dude. You're like harshing my vibe over here.
Might need a check.
What?
Vibe check. What, you don't know about Vibe check? It's like a new meme.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not a memer, dude. My memes are like the fucking hell yeah, which aren't even memes because the videos are like 1 minute long and the punchline is like the first 5 seconds of the video. Potion seller. I'd like some of your strongest potions.
Wow.
My potions are too strong for you. Maybe you should find someone that sells weaker potions. It's one of the best YouTube videos of all time. The best thing about that video is it can never be demonetized because nothing about it is against any terms of service anywhere in the world. Unless somehow in the future potion becomes a slang word for a type of drug that then people stop using the word potion in like video games and everything. You call it like a healing vial. Health jug.
Healing material.
Yo, dude, where's my health jugs at? Yo, where's the HP bucket, dude?
Oh, jeez.
Everything just becomes slurp juice. Where's my slurp juice?
Ew. Jesus, this thing is gonna kill me. Stop!
Get better.
Oh, I'm dead. I can't. I don't know how to get better.
Chain launch.
No, the
Go
freaking
crazy.
fireballs in this hallway are gonna kill me.
Yeah.
How do I? Oh, you gotta jump over them.
Really?
Ah, that still hit me! No, stop!
Use
Wow, I'm deleting this game.
Can you air taunt in that game?
No, I already tried. Yeah. Restart mission from last checkpoint. Yeah.
Curses, you can't ride in hot.
Riding hot.
Riding hot.
Yeah.
You like juggling? Sorry, that every time I think of DMC 5 now, I think of that because that move is like a cursed move. That like tortured me for like an entire play session of doing it on accident, and I finally got so sick of it. Like I said, at least in that game you can turn moves off. Because it's very easy to use moves on accident in DMC 5 because they're so much easier to use. Like, it's so much easier in DMC 5 to accidentally stinger spam. And like I keep telling you, when you attack with your normal triangle button, you need to try and time it with the swings instead of just mashing the triangle button. Because you're never going to get exceeds consistently when you're mashing the triangle button, trust me. Mash all you want on Dante, but on Nero, he's way more... He benefits the... Again, think using dual blades in fucking Neo or something like that. It's like they're fast weapons, but they're about the precise control kind of thing.
What the fuck? I just can't. I can't get the timing.
It takes a long time, dude. I told you, I spent hours in the training room and I still can't do it consistently. But at least if you can do it to the point where you get at least a level 1 exceed, then it's good. Because you might, like I said, you might be pressing it too early.
Maybe.
Like I described it earlier, but there's still, because the animation with the delay and stuff, you want it to be like I said, a quarter to a halfway through the animation.
How did that hit me?
You gotta roll, son.
No, you definitely have to jump over that. Stop! Camera, jeez. Whatever. I'm not gonna go to that area. I don't even think it's the way it's locked anyways. When I got to the end of the whole way, I thought I was supposed to destroy the little fireball thingy, but I guess not. I'll use a Vital Star.
That's wishful thinking.
What?
Sorry, my cough is so obnoxious sometimes. It literally sounds like someone squeezing the air out of like a dying pig.
How? Oh. You gotta start the drop to be able to do that input. It's so dumb.
Do what?
The slash in the air.
The
triangle, triangle, delayed, triangle. The spinny.
You mean... yeah, but like I told you, you want to do the back triangle in the air.
I don't have that. I already told you.
You don't have the back triangle?
No.
I mean, not back triangle, sorry.
Forward?
Back forward.
Oh, back forward?
Yeah, back forward triangle. The forward slicing one. You do like 2 slashes and then a back forward triangle. And then grapple.
Ooh, this looks like the area.
Or buster.
Yeah.
Grapple buster or grapple and combo again. The reason why you want to do the back-forward triangle, if you haven't already realized, is the back-forward triangle does way more damage than the normal aerial attacks. Especially if you can manage to exceed it. If you can exceed it, it'll be amazing.
Enemies just don't have enough HP.
Well, yeah, true. I forget you're in at the beginning of the game, technically, still. But on the bigger enemies, that's definitely... Well, not bigger, but you know what I mean. The tougher guys.
Yeah. Atomic. I really like the call outs in DMC 5. Apocalyptic. Oh fuck, I fucked it up. But whatever.
Apocalyptic.
Yeah, that shit is clean. I've only gotten double S's. I can't get a triple S. It's so much harder now. Like in the beta, I was like getting triple S's out my ass. I have the power to destroy this statue.
Yeah, you gotta do... The beta was set up differently. In the base game, you gotta do like more taunts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because, again, you gotta remember, if you're at like double S and you taunt, that's triple S. Just by standing still and taunting when you have double S, you will go up to triple S. Because it goes up one full letter grade if you taunt in the middle of a fight. You just gotta be careful not to get hit, obviously.
Don't get hit.
Because then it goes away. Don't get hit, forehead.
What? I'm deleting this. I really have to go all the way back up here?
You literally, I think, if you realize how much you said, I'm deleting this, you would be fucking surprised.
Nah, I know. That's just like the joke I've been saying recently. Whenever I do something dumb or struggle.
What if I delete you?
That wouldn't be nice. Oh, that was nice. I was just smoking sexy style.
Smoking sexy style.
But yeah, I did your combo added with my combo together.
I wouldn't even call it my combo. I'm just telling you the way that a lot of the people do it. That's just the way, if you're trying to do like more maximized damage and stuff, that attack does a lot of damage even when not exceeded. And it combos into other stuff better, just like I said, because it kind of resets you in the air.
What? This is actually like triggering. This is devil triggering. Oh, it's so good. Smoking. There we go. I finally got my first S combo.
It's also one of those things where the game gives you style points for using different attacks. So
yeah,
that's
I really like that
attacks
too.
That adds the variance that you need to help get it up higher as well. Any of the attacks in that list, even the whole triangle.
Yeah. Just basic triangle attacks.
Yeah, but those get old really quick, so you really do have to use moves in between them if you want them to be worth anything. or have them be at different exceed levels, because different exceed level attacks count for different style as well.
How?
That's why you want exceed.
Yeah.
What do you keep getting hit?
I'm like in this part where you have to like grapple. Slam dunk. It always puts me on the wrong side of the freaking hallway. Double trigger. Alright. How do you switch between lock to R3? Or I mean L3. No! Okay, I figured it out now.
What?
What I have to do.
What's that you on about?
There's like this parkour section that I have to do.
Hardcore?
Parkour.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you said hardcore. I just realized.
I was like, is he gonna get the joke? Hardcore, hardcore!
Atomic.
Please don't.
I'll take it. Whoa! Oh my god. I'll be right back.
What's up?
Nothing. I just got school tomorrow and I just found out. That sucks.
Oh, so you're gonna get off?
No, not for a while. Just woke up. There we go, I got it. Alright, bring me the speaker. Like Uber. Beat him. Yeah. I wonder if I have an Amazon account.
Why?
Cause my brother got like this Alexa thing. I'm trying to make it work.
Your device is ready for setup.
Alexa, fetch me a burrito. You still there, Hyro, or are you fucking with the Alexa thing still?
Alright. I don't know if you're still here. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure out how to turn it on. Or I mean connect it. Atomic.
Bop it.
Twist it. Pull it. Pull it. Bob it.
Swap it. And then you do spaz it. Just sped up 30 times. It sounds all glitchy and fucked up. And then you have the like disconnected from reality version where it's just a bunch of weird noises. It's like a vaporwave song.
Oh, what's that? Vaporwave. Where are those?
Look it up then if you're curious.
Where did I leave my phone?
It's hard to explain music.
Alright, I'll check it out. Vaporwave. How do you spell that?
Like vapor.
Okay. And then
And
wave.
then wave.
Wow. Vaporware.
Perceives all things conjoined. The past, the future, and the present. Everything flows, and all is connected. This eye is not merely seeing reality. It is touching, controlling.
Vaporwave. This is like nice and chill. I like this.
It's boomer music.
Beamer?
Boomer music.
Oh. Beamer music? I was like, what the fuck? Sounds nice.
For whatever reason, the pictures that you see of a lot of vaporwave stuff is of like Lisa Simpson and other weird 90s, 2000s characters, because that's what the music is like based upon somehow. Like the 90s. It's like modern 90s music is basically what vaporwave is. Is it weird that I'm like a person that'll eat sourdough bread just by itself?
I don't think I've ever had that. Or I just don't know what it is.
Sourdough bread is bread that has like tang to it. I mean, it's literally what it sounds like. It's like sour cream to normal cream.
I don't know.
Pick some up next time you're at a grocery store. Sourdough toast is very good.
Alright.
And then certain sandwiches.
Sourdough sandwiches?
Well, yeah, you use like a sourdough bread for a sandwich. You can use that as well. Maybe like a pastrami or something like that. Something that the sourness complements.
Be gone! It tells me to go back to that area, but then it tells me to go out of that area. Makes sense. Makes sense. God damn it. Yeah. Yeah. I definitely have to go here. Now it tells me I have to go here. Nice. Let's go, game. Good grams of the pro.
Holy.
Devil. Trigger. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, nice. Double juggle by the enemy AI. Ooh, frozen.
don't spit. Ouch.
Didn't figure this guy for a bookworm. That's one way to get yourself shot. So, you after this guy too, or just here to catch some demons? Silent type, huh? Well, that's annoying. Much for friendly banter. You want to fight? Come on. The demon had possessed the Order's armor. That's not a good sign.
Alright. Since I gotta go to school, I'm gonna get off.
Alright, man.
Yep. I'll see ya.
Have a good one.
Yep. Peace.